Hello, and welcome back to the Squawk and Talk podcast, your favourite Australian podcast, and only, I should say. I'm here along with the boys, Jevons and Aaron. How are we all doing today, boys?
What's up?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How about yourself, Matt?
Yeah, can't complain. Life's been lifing, very busy with a lot of external stuff. It's been distracting me from this world of Pokemon that we all love to call our favourite hobby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Valentine's Day, I've done and dusted.
Take that off
the last few weeks. Yeah. Just me and my partner's been up to a bunch of interesting stuff. But yeah, EUIC is double done and dusted, so I'm ready to get back into it.
Nice, yeah.
100%.
I've just been adjusting to being the father of a child who's now in primary school. It's a big step, so school drop-offs and all the rest of it. Big routine change. So
I would imagine, that'd be definitely full on.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
Can you imagine all the players coming back from EUIC now also adjusting back to our time zone?
Yeah.
The little headache that causes with the jet lag and whatnot. But definitely had some amazing plays in that event, and I don't know if you guys don't mind, but want to just mention massive congratulations to Natalie Miller for making finals, and also the 35 Masters that went from Australia / New Zealand over to EUIC, as well as the 12 seniors, with Kingsley making top 4, which, hey, how awesome is that?
Yeah, good on him.
That's it. And lastly, we had 11 new players in juniors attend as well. 11. That is really, really good. So great effort from all the Aussies. So everybody that's listening to this, if you attended EUIC, congratulations. Well done. You made our country proud.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. Big event, 3,500 players. That's start of last season. Pittsburgh, what was that? Around 1,700-1,800 players, almost double that in size. That is absolutely crazy. The growth of this game, how exponential that's been.
I feel like we're almost pushing the Japanese events numbers. You know, when you hear you're pushing into the mid 3,000s, you're like,
not far off at the 5,000 player Champions League, and we're getting 3,000 player ICs.
Yeah,
giving them a run for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we should slow it down a bit. They might change us to best of one. We don't want that.
Well, you've got to be adaptable when you can, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you go. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, before we get into all the EUIC chat and all that fun, exciting stuff, we'll jump into some other news that's been going on recently. Journey Together, a set coming in just a bit over a month now. We're all excited for that, especially not coming from a collector side, but from a player side. How are we feeling?
I am definitely very excited for it. It's definitely going to shake up the TCG. Just so many amazing cards coming out, different archetypes. I've heard a lot of people say the current format is starting to get a little dry, but this is going to be definitely a good push of new archetypes, new metas that is to come, and it's going to be very exciting. Very much looking forward to it.
And not only that, it brings with it rotation, right? So all the V stars are out. Everyone's going to have to adapt to a new play style. Just
bring back Lugia V star, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Me being the baby that I am, starting back in Astral Radiance, oh my beloved. Water Pokemon, Palkia, Radiant Greninja, yeah.
What are you going to do with that, your Water Dex, bro?
Fine.
Yeah, pick up Misty's Gyarados. Oh, man.
But
never know.
Do you guys have a favourite card in Journeys Together?
Journeys Together.
I think we're all a bit of a fan of the Ends Zoro arc for nostalgia purposes, but like I would probably say that Lilia's Clefairy, like that.
Yep.
That card's pretty big. Like,
Yeah, from a
especially in
competitive
functional mana.
standpoint, for sure.
Yeah, I think like it's basically Raikou and Suicune, like same attack, same gun, and like the ability is just nuts with the current amount of dragons that we have in the format right now. Like, yeah, it's just so easy.
I really actually like Ends Dominaton. I know it sounds weird, but after seeing the Champions League with Ends Zoroark popping off, Ends Dominaton just seems like it's poised to be really good. For the people that don't know at home, that haven't seen it, it has 140 HP. It's a stage 1 fire type. For 2 colorless energies, Backdrift, 30 times damage. This attack does 30 damage for each energy in your opponent's discard pile. And for 2 fire, 1 colorless. Damani Cannon, I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize. 90 damage and discard all energies from this Pokemon. Also does 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which for a one prize Pokemon, that's all right. But I think we're really going to be focusing on the double colorless, well, the Backdrift attack, with having lots of energies in the discard pile and doing lots into it.
For me, I'm keen to pull out this D tier deck, the stage 2 Mamoswine EX, and just flood the board with the biggest, bulkiest Pokemon. Man.
There's only ever been one Mamoswine I've known that's actually been playable, and that was all the way back in 2010. And a good friend of mine, I'm going to briefly shout them out, Ruby Retro. He's made that very viable, and it is a blast to play. We'll go into that another time, but a playable Mamoswine back is exciting. Yeah. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Can't wait. With this set, though, and specifically more so in Australia, there's a bit of, how do I say it? Not controversy, but there's a delay in the release date. So
I've seen that too.
Yeah. So what were we told? It was meant to be released on March 28th from memory?
Yep, and the delay's about 2 weeks. I'm not sure if it's every store, but I know there's a few distributors that are going to be short by 2 weeks. I'm sure it's going to be all of them.
It's looking like it's across the board from I've spoken to a few different shops.
So what do you guys think that's the reason for that is? Do you guys think it's just due to the fact that there's so much demand, so they need to print more? Because with my understanding, Pokemon actually prints months and months in advance.
Yeah.
Prior to, they don't do it as of right now. They've already done this sets, and they're moving on to the next ones further down. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think the delay is?
Well, it's hard to say it's a new thing. Like, they've done this thing a few times in the past, but like, it's very easy to say. Like, it's a collector's kind of thing. There's just, like you said, supply and demand has just like skyrocketed. Got all those people just want to make money off of, well, this whole sort of franchise. So it's like really hard to put a pin on anything else but that, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, as a collectible hobby, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And
with that, I think Pokemon might. I remember we're just second guessing here. We actually don't know the real
speculation
reason
here.
But I don't know if Pokemon realized how big Pokemon was going to boom. So since Surging Sparks, that's when I really noticed it.
Yeah,
when things started getting flying off the shelves left, right, and center. It is just like havoc trying to find any Pokemon cards at any store at this point now. Even if you're just wanting to just buy a pack, it's like, well, no, it's all sold out.
Hayden, you mentioned the delay in previous products, and I feel like Surging Sparks was close to when it sort of started, and that was only the ETBs that were getting delayed, right? Whereas this looks like it's every product across the board, like the ETBs, the booster bundles, the blisters, like everything's just pushed back to the 11th of April.
Yeah, like the influx is just crazy, massive. Like the amount of people that have just jumped on the bandwagon, like in buying this sort of product, like it's crazy to think like how maybe around I'm gonna say maybe Paradox Rift was probably one of the last few ones that wasn't that crazy. I know Paladin Feds was pretty hectic, and then back to regular sets, Temporal Forces, Twilight, and such. Were pretty fair, to say the least, in how they distributed it. And then ever since then, it's just been a bit of a big question mark in how the marketing has gone about that with these kinds of products.
Just want to put it out there. In the whole 11-ish years of me playing this game, I actually have never seen it like this. This, like obviously there has been some times where things have been delayed and whatnot, and people go crazy. Look at our XY evolutions. That set is a great example. Where it was nobody wanted it. Now then it was $1 million. But Pokemon has gotten that popular, which is a great thing for the community and the Pokemon company. But also does then put a lot of pressure on players that want to be competitive. They need to get the specific cards days before major events as of releases. With my understanding, with the dates of this Journeys Together, it wouldn't have been legal regardless for our Brisbane regional events that's coming up in late March.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if it was and it was still delayed?
Yeah, that would have been a scatter.
Yeah, it would have not been not been very, very good. But thankfully, it wasn't going to be released on then. Yeah.
I think the majority of it would have been an unhappy bunch.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be, looping back to Journeys Together, it's definitely going to be a set that's going to shake up the meta with rotation as well. I think it's definitely going to breathe a new, more fresh air into the game. More people can start working on different archetypes, cooking. We all know those friends that have their kitchen where they're cooking really hard and, trying to make those decks that nobody think of and goes to that League Cup and just sweeps the whole event because it's like, wow, what was that? And then it's an archetype. Look at Clorf Terapagos. That is a great example.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere, and that just recently won an IC. How crazy is that?
Yeah. That's
yeah, like it's had its time a few months ago. It went into a bit of a pigeonhole, and then all of a sudden just decided to show its face again. And then in the hands of one Japanese player, just took its claim to fame.
Do you think it's more so the people, the community forgot about it? For myself, I've noticed so many archetypes, right? For example, Maraudon was a great example with Azul winning the last regional event. It was there, but it was not really, like there was no light on it really. Mm-hmm. And then somebody plays it because nobody's really expecting it, does so well. And then if you play it at the next event, everybody's already expecting it. Yeah. It has that kind of catch-22 effect.
Yeah, it's those decks that sort of slip through the cracks and find those key meta moments that where it's just everyone's focused on, Lugia is going to be good, or these stage 2 decks are going to be good with their small basic Pokemon. You know what's good against that? You know what Lugia is weak to? Lightning Pokemon. Iron Hands. Amping you very much. Extra prize cards for free.
Yep.
It's these top players making these good medicals that some people just aren't expecting.
100%. And I think Clorf Terapagos was definitely that deck that slept through the cracks, and with an evolution format. I know you guys all know all about the turn 1 kills with that deck. Yeah, it's primed for that kind of meta. But I have a feeling now more people are going to start playing it. So people are going to be having to attack for it more. See 2 Pokemon in the opening hand, benching both if you can.
Yeah.
To be on the safe side.
At least for another month or so till that rotation hits.
Drew's going to be hyping up at locals. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely left its mark.
That's it. So, would you guys like to move towards how EUIC went? And I know I've went through how many players we had from our home country go over that way, but do you guys want to do a quick recap of the events?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just dive right into it.
100%.
Yeah. We're looking at the top 8. My Discord will load.
Yep.
Actually, instead of the top 8, we'll look at the meta analysis for day 1, day 2.
Yep.
Yep,
Dragapult. Any surprise there for the top most played deck?
So we got Dragapult at 15.7%.
Wow.
Assume that's a mixture of with and without Dusclops, Dusknoir.
Yeah, they try to generalize the archetype. Yeah.
We got Gardevoir at 12.3%, so it's pretty massive as well.
And so on that note, you don't see any in top 16 of Gardevoir.
No.
That's true.
Do I have the conversion rates here? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, and then only 3 in top 32. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't have the conversion rate here, but the big surprise, I guess not a huge surprise, with Dragapult at 15.7, but Archaludon at 11.7, so pushing 12. Yeah, just I guess trying to counter Dragapult, right?
Yep. Though we seen straight on stream with Tord Reklev versus his opponent on round 1. Dragapult into Archaludon. It was an interesting game to say the least.
Yeah, even Natalie had to pull up against one of these things, winning in.
Top 4, was it? Top 4, right?
Was it top 4 or was it? Yeah, no, it was. It was top 4.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, still had to push through one of these things. So it can be done.
Yep.
The matchup can be won with some smart thinking. She was very innovative in those gameplay decisions.
It's one of those games. Yeah, go for it.
Golden Go. That surprised me so much with the double Munkidori, double water energy, double dark energy, 3 metal energy. I thought that was cooking so hard.
Yeah.
With Xander getting 3rd, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
With that deck I thought that was amazing cooks were behind that. That's for sure.
Yeah,
there was
definitely.
If you look at the list, there's about like 10 or so people on that exact same list.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
We'll get into the list soon.
Yeah.
We got
so crazy.
Miraidon on 9.7, Lugia on 8.2, and to round out the day 1 top 6 decks, Clorf snuck in at 4.1.
Yep.
It's before Goldango, before Raging Bolt, before Ceruledge. It got up there.
Ceruledge was there?
In the best of the rest.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking, what?
Ceruledge actually got over Charizard in the best of the rest. People still bring a Charizard these days.
I think if you're bringing Charizard, it needs to be paired with Dragapult. There's no.
Absolutely.
I know William got top. Sorry, he got 154th with it. Fantastic effort. But actually there's even more. There's more that went further as well.
There's a top
Pedro
9. Where is he? Oscar Madsen, 9th place. Killing it with the Zard. I'm with you. Charizard is such a strong card, and pairing it with Dragapult, it's so good.
Just want to put it out there. My favorite art of the Charizard is the new promo one coming out. I think that one looks amazing.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Another one.
Yeah, there's another one.
They haven't just mirrored it?
Nah. This one was the one that came out in Japan that we didn't get.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. He's like...
Yeah, he's like headbutting it, I think. But I think the artwork looks amazing. Better than any of the alt arts or full arts.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good.
So one that comes in the is it like a deck list or deck box or something? You got the playmat with it.
Yep. But let's move to the deck lists for EUIC.
Sure.
Yep.
Should
we start at number 1 or?
That's a good place to start. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I actually I looked at this list the other day, and there was one thing that did catch my eye. Even though Cloth does play the Latias, the Ryuki also ran 4 switch card as well.
Oh, he's got 4.
Yeah.
Hayden, do you want to start off with this list? I'm just getting into it now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm assuming the 4 switch card, that'd be for the Dragapult spread damage, more than most likely. Because the way that they do win that matchup is they take all 6 prizes at once. They got the Monkey Dory in there as well. Double Badoo. They just really want to annoy people's day, I guess. But
yeah, I think the Badoo synergizes well with the switch card. I think they push the Badoo forward, poison it. It takes 10 go into their turn, 10 coming back, and then you switch card it out and heal it.
Yeah. I
think that's why there might be 4 of them now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but the also, play as well.
Just having a switch in a deck that is all basic Pokemon, so in general, but just having switch in general is just an amazing card to be able to get things stuck in the active, because there are some times where things do get stuck and you can't retreat them and you do deck out. Not sure if you guys seen that on stream. That was a Nadley, she did that to her opponent. I didn't see that coming myself. But yeah, switches.
You can see both the players just counting the cards in their deck, not only going over to her opponents, trying to guess how many cards.
Yep.
Yeah. Quite the adrenaline rushing situation.
Yeah.
So apart from the 4 switch card, it does look like a pretty standard list for Cloth.
Got Kieran in there as well. Did they have that before?
No, I was just about to say Kieran lets you bump up your damage just that little bit more. Because how far can Terapagos reach with its poison and a Mochi? 280, 290?
With Kieran, 290. I think with Kieran it's 320.
320, and that's your maths there for...
It's your Dragapult number.
Dragapult.
Yeah, so that was also another thing if for the people at home that don't know what Kieran does. So it's a supporter. It has 2 effects on it, but you only can choose one. You can switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon, so back to another switch card. Great. And the second effect is during your turn, Pokemon that attack do 30 more damage into EX and V Pokemon. So yeah, that's where the damage comes up. Fantastic card, and the versatility of that being able to switch is awesome, especially in this kind of deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even to use an early game to push that Oranguru into the active if you don't have your switch cards or you can't reach for your Latias.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
such a key card to have in the active at the start of the game.
So I'm just going to quickly just go through this for the people that don't know the list. So it has 2 Brute Bonnet, 2 Badoo, 2 Terapagos, 2 Luminion V, 1 Petron, 1 Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler, 1 Latias EX, 1 Squawkabilly EX, 1 Fezandipity EX, 1 Oranguru V, 1 Cloth, and 1 Monkey Dory. That's just the Pokemon.
A lot of one-offs.
So this deck, for anybody that doesn't know, it does seem like there's just a lot of Pokemon that's just been thrown into the deck, but it all works. There's lots of pieces moving, but they all work really well. It very much does revolve around the whole poison special condition. In between turn, take 10. The Pokemon that's poison take 10 damage, which I think is awesome because we don't have many special conditions in standard that's really do much and that are successful. This is obviously this is different, and yeah, it's a fantastic archetype, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's your winner for EUIC. So if you want to go back and watch the complete 3 games, or fairly say actual 1 game of that, yeah, you'll find it on YouTube, and yeah, enjoy that for all that it's worth. Yeah, congrats to Riki.
100%.
And move on to sorry.
100%. I completely agree.
Yeah, too funny. Yeah, and then we'll move on to our homegirl Natalie's list, Dragon Ball Dusknoir.
Yep. So I found this list very interesting. Obviously, our Australian top crew get together. As far as I know, they run the same 60. And this is very similar to Brent Tonnisson's Merida list, with only a few small changes just to up the consistency. Yeah. So I don't know if you've noticed, but us Australians don't play bad cards, according to Brent Tonnisson. And one card that you would normally see in Dragapult that is vacant from this list is Crispin.
Yeah, Crispin.
So
I'm a firm believer. People that play Crispin, you're playing 59 good cards and Crispin.
Yep.
That's a meme right there.
Absolutely. So the big differences here from their previous list, they've bumped the Lance count up to 3 from 2. So Lance is a supporter, gets you 3 Dragon-type Pokemon from your deck to your hand. They've also increased Iono from 2 to 3. They've dropped... Sorry,
you go.
Yeah. Dropped the Dusknoir to a 1 of, and up the Dusclops. The main reason I can see for this is for the mirror match, trying to evolve the Duskulls as quickly as possible so they can't just be taken out with the Phantom Dive, 6 damage counter spread. Was there anything else here?
You're also not relying on the candy as much. The Dusknoir, not the Dusknoir, the Dusclops by itself can actually factor in. Unlike with most other decks that the Ghosts are in, the 6 damage counters that Dragon Ball spreads out, that can just be a big, massive difference whether or not you just drop the 5 on Clops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And another thing that you don't see in many Dragon Ball lists right now is actually Temple of Sinnoh. I know the Australian list we've definitely we've had it in there for it's a very good card. But I think it's very good, especially into the Lugia match.
Yeah,
to get rid of
a meta call for sure.
Yeah.
It's also sneakily good into the Terapagos decks as well. Yeah, GT is not a thing.
Very true.
Anything else on this list?
Do we want to go run through it? It's just pretty straightforward. Has 1 Bidu. I've seen a lot of lists coming out of EUIC be running 2, not just the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's purely down to the fact of the free retreat aspect. Starting it's never bad, but you never play 2 down. That's always bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this list is going to I think Dragapult is actually going to stay relevant in the meta for a long time because it does have the best stage 1 out of even after rotation. The Draclo, the fact that you can switch 2 from grab 1, put 1 at the bottom of your deck, you're not actually discarding. You
No.
can cycle where everything else that's an evolution, you need to play Rare Candy. So, Devo actually becomes kind of relevant if it goes into a Rare Candy kind of format, especially with a spread deck like Dragapult.
Yeah.
So,
and off that Dracloak ability, it synergizes so well with Iono. With Dragapult, you're spreading damage around. You can set up for the big multi-prize turns. So again, Iono is even more impactful there, where you're keeping your 6 to 5, maybe 4 prize cards, and your opponent's taking prizes through the game, and that Iono is getting more impactful. And not only that, you're pushing cards to the bottom. So similar to what's that metal energy deck? The Metang, how it picks the top 5 cards or whatever, puts energy and puts the rest at the bottom. You're cycling your deck. You're not shuffling it, right? So you should know what cards are at the bottom of your deck to get more chances or more outs to what you're trying to get to, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Completely agree. And one last thing on this, once again, massive congratulations to Natalie for getting second. That is a second time this season a Aussie has come second at a internationals. Pokemon means you guys need to bring back an OCIC.
Come on.
If we are topping your events back to back, it says something.
Yeah.
We have a play base for it now.
Yeah, pay it forward to us, please.
Yes, please. But once again, amazing effort, Natalie. Good work. Now to the third place deck by Xander, which we did cover very briefly, being Golden Go. I think this deck is... I've seen this and I thought it was actually really cool.
I could go on hours and hours about this list.
All right, Hayden, give us your top 3 points, because I know that you've been waiting for this list. Just a chance to unleash your knowledge here. Go for it, man.
Other than that the post-game interview with Great Chen, one of the boys asking is like, is it C-Power's the new C-Power? He's like, it's similar, but it's not the same. It'll never be the same. Yeah, I think a lot of people going to the Bidoof format just really wrote off a lot of decks like Chien-Pao and Goldengo, just cards that rely on items like, i.e. superior energy retrieval, rare candy, such and such. This list, however, made it very Bidoof proof, I guess I would put it, as much as you can. The TM Evo helps out a lot. To find your Goldingers very, very early, especially even at raw draw them, then you're in a little bit of trouble. And I think also the Monkey Dory in there as well is a bit of a testament to just how strong Bidoof actually is. Because if they're just going to keep swinging at you 10 each and every turn, you just fling it back at them at whatever time that you can, and then that's your freedom to play the items that you can, because eventually they're going to break the lock and start swinging themselves. And then Goldengo 260, big number. Most decks can't hit it very cleanly without keeping the prize trade in their favor. But it's crazy insane how many people actually brought this exact same list. On the Limitless page is 9 entries of it. And props to them. Yeah.
A lot of those people that brought it are in their testing group. So Xander, Rahul, Grant, Isaiah, John. With my understanding, those guys are all in the same testing group. I think it was a great medical. Though, can somebody please tell me this? And I keep looking at it, and I'm probably just missing something here. 2 water energies. You can attack with Radiant Greninja in 3 turns. Is that the goal?
So I actually pondered this myself until maybe about yesterday afternoon. You can bluff the Palkia pretty easily if they see the second water, then they get a little bit scared. And
Mind games.
yeah.
I like it. That's great.
Why
And it's not too much of a burden either, because it's just another energy you can find off ESH Pro if you burn the first one early. But yeah, mainly it's just to really play the mental game.
Mm-hmm.
I with lists like this, ever since I've seen it, I was always thinking 3 metal energies is not an. I always am thinking 4 is where I sit comfortably. So if I was to play this, I'd probably do that. But at the same time, people also now know this list, so people know there's no Palkia. So, but and also having I know there's so many different ways to get around item lock, but you look at this list, there is so many items.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? This, was it Gordingo is like a turbo-esque deck, right? And you just need that one turn to just get turbo.
Yep.
I think that's why Miraidon did so well. Everyone sort of wrote off the turbo decks that use heavy counts of items. But everyone's forgetting, you get one turn, whether it's first or second, you still get to use your items in that one turn. And it only takes one turn to get ahead of these slower decks.
Yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, amazing effort from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, all 9 players who play this list. Great work. Yeah, this is definitely cooks in the kitchen at work.
Yeah.
I love it.
Indeed. G-string boy, all for it.
The next one that came top 4, being 4th, is the Archaludon Dialga deck. Yeah, I looked at this list. I don't think there is too much that is too different to the standard lists personally, but I could be very much wrong. What do you guys think?
It seems pretty stock standard. I'm not too big of an Archaludon player myself.
I think the Scoop Up Cyclone is the thing that was different, stood out for me. But I completely understand playing. I think that's the best A-spec you could play in a deck like this, where you're not trying to get one shots and whatnot.
Just trying to cycle your Archaludons, keep them healthy.
I think it's also the energy recursion that you get when you build it up to the Archaludon as well. We all seen how Scoop Up now was pretty damn destroying in the format that it was legal in. Even though it's an A spec, it's still enough to do the job.
Yeah.
I do like the Thornton, and I would assume that that's pretty stock standard in this list to sort of have those surprise Archaludons. Did they say on stream that this list has 1 less energy than a standard list? Is it generally 10 energies?
Yeah, 10's the norm. But
came back to sort of bite him in his top 4 match against Natalie. He had most of his energies on board, and then I think there was only 1 in the discard. All these 2 rows and his Scoop Up Cyclone switch cards or does he have any switch cards? He doesn't. No,
just the Scoop Up.
Just the Scoop Up and the 2 row. So yeah, you could see her going again, checking his discard, literally sorting his discard out perfectly and saying, "Yep, I've got you. We're going for the deck out."
You don't have it, yeah.
And on top of that, with having Power Pad, so technically 4 2 rows if played correctly.
Yeah.
Well, not correctly, played in that
played to that situation.
But yeah, amazing effort as well. You don't really see too many Archaludon Dialgas until you get way further down. Still scrolling. Where Alex Szymanski with just Archaludon at 70th. He was the next one. But
doing it
for everybody else,
team.
everybody at home that wants to look at these deck lists, what we're reading off right now is actually Limitless TCG. It's a huge Pokemon hub for competitive play. Has people's deck lists from juniors, seniors, masters. Not so much in the juniors and seniors, but more so in the masters. You can see also player profiles as well of what decks they've played and topped with in the past. And when people talk about a Limitless page, they're talking about Limitless TCG. It's just a mini. Well, I'm not going to say a mini achievement. It's definitely an achievement to have a Limitless page because it means you've topped to a point where it's very notable to a lot of people's eyes. So it's just limitlesstcg.com. I definitely recommend looking at it. That's what we're currently reading off. Do you guys want to keep going through with the top 8 of them as well?
I am definitely want to talk about this next list because this is the most interesting Dragapult list in the top 8 or that I have seen.
Yep.
This is Vinny Fernandez. So I'm going to dub this list the anti-meta Dragapult. He doesn't have any Dusknoir, no Dusknoir line. He's got the double Badoo and the single Klefki. Klefki is in there for Miraidon. He's got the Monkey Dory for the mirror matchup and obviously the Badoo damage coming in his direction. What else has he got here? No Crystal as his ace spec.
That's very interesting.
So he's running, where is it? The Unfair Stamp, which saw actually more play than I expected in Dragapult on this weekend.
This list plays Crispin as well.
It does, yeah. So
a little bit of acceleration on that side.
Yeah, to have that one acceleration card is obviously quite handy. And then the last tech, or there's two, sorry, there's a Lost City. And the more interesting one I found is Defiance Vest. So Defiance Vest is a tool card. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, the Pokemon this card is attached to takes 90 less damage.
I thought you were going to say the interesting card was the Crispin, but...
Yeah. So this is a 59 card deck with a one bad card. So let's do some maths here. Dracloak, 90 HP, plus 40, 130 HP. You know what can't hit 130? Iron Hands without a Zapdos.
Can I just put it out there? You have a very, very tanky Bidoo with 70 HP.
Yep, that too.
Mm-hmm.
That too. So those late game Bidoos are standing strong for the team.
Yeah.
Dreepy sitting nice and up there on 110.
Wow, as a basic Pokemon.
As a basic Pokemon. You know why that's relevant? Because if we look at the Lugia lists, where are they? There's none up here.
Yeah.
Where are we?
See Jevin's face in despair.
Don't worry, we'll find one. We'll find one. It's here. I know it. There we go.
Is that 41st?
Somewhere there. 41st, that's it. Yeah. Wellspring Mask Ogerpon with its Torrential Pump hits. This deck does 120 to... Oh, my bad. Wait, if it's got the double turbo on it, though. Can only hit for 100, correct?
Oh, that's funny as. And you have a Klefki with 110 HP?
Yes.
Klefki? So, actually, Blood Moon, 300 HP.
That's right. So I think this is a sneaky tech card that
give me nightmares.
That is a bench barrier in itself without taking up a bench spot.
Actually, guys, I think the true hero with all this is the Monkey Dory with 150 HP. Come on. You're gonna be mind bending for oblivion.
That's right.
But I also on that note, I love the Monkey Dory in this with the one darkness energy. I think it's again cooked really well. Yeah, really well done. Not like of course, you know they just got 5th at an international, the biggest international we have ever had. I think the level of people being creative has really stepped up a notch, and it's showing in this meta right now. Monkey Dory is finding Monkey's way in every single deck they can possibly fit it, and it's clearly paying off. Who would have thought in Shrouding Fable that card was going to be so meta defining in like one set afterwards?
That's pretty crazy. The evolution of this game is just so damn fast.
Yep. And then after that, 6th and 7th place, we have Snorlax Stall.
Sorry, what?
How I call it? Snorlax.
Snorlax, yeah. But sorry, what? Where did this guy come from?
I didn't think this was a deck anymore, I'll be honest.
No.
But
one thing I do want to say about this deck in general, and Badoo is in format now. Players are adjusting to the Badoo format, taking out their switch carts, with Ryukyu excluded, taking out their switch cards, meaning it's much harder to retreat. Well, you can't retreat against Blocklax, can you? And you don't have switch carts anymore, or switch anything, because you're removing them because items are useless.
Yeah, so
there's another example of like that meta defining, like this just little deck that sneaks in as players adjust for one thing, opens up space for something else.
I think this meta is prime for Snorlax Stall because of Bidoo, because people are trying to get around all the being locked and whatnot by Bidoo. So I think Snorlax is actually poised in a really solid spot. Looking at the sixth placed list, I don't think there's really anything out of the ordinary in the list. I think it all seems pretty standard for this. Apart from it only does play one Rotom V, which you do find a lot of them playing two, because if it's prized, it's very difficult to be able to cycle through your deck.
It does counter that with the 4 of boxed orders.
Yeah.
So you can play that single prize board state there.
Yeah.
So a bit of a mixture of the two different variants.
But once again, massive congratulations. I think it was definitely a correct medical. And just you look at all the decks around it, like in the top 16, and you just think, wow, that is really, really well done. Really good medical.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
I know the 7th place list is very different. Very different. They play a lot more Pokemon. They play a Milotic. The one that's, don't quote me from which set it's from, is one in Standard where it has an ability. Your opponent's Pokemon in play and all cards attached to it can't be put into their hand. So it is Professor Turo proof. I think that is an amazing add to it. Plus Diancie for the Lugia counter, and the Terrapago. Probably not Lugia, but more so the Terrapagos counter. That's what I would say. For the people at home that don't know, Diancie it's the attack they would be using is 1 Colorless Energy 40 times. It does 40 damage for each special energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So you only need them to have 3 in play for Diancie to one-shot a Terrapagos EX due to weakness. being a fighting type. Well, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've sort of just lumped these two lists together as Snorlax Store, but this is definitely more of a Snorlax Control than a Store. There's a lot more options here.
I think that this is much more of a control variant. But like it's still Snorlax Store. Like still the goal is to stall with Snorlax. Just this, I think this one here with the Phoebus, with the Melodic, with the Marwile, amazing card, Tempting Trap. Opponent can't retreat for the people that don't know. That's just for a colorless energy, amazing attack. And they play 2 Rotom. So being able to cycle through your deck, they're not going to have too much of an issue. But they also they do not play the boxed item card.
No. Hayden, do you want to run us through this enriching energy?
Funny enough, I'm actually reading this card practically for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yes. But I can see why. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 1 colorless energy. But when you attach this card from your hand to a Pokemon, you draw 4 cards. So you look at all the pickup cards, all the pennies, and the 2 power pads. Like you can just slam enriching energy down like almost every single turn.
Such a niche, but brilliant draw engine. Like to couple that with the penny.
I think that is an amazing idea. And I'm just seeing if there is a way that they didn't play any cards to be able to get a special energy back. Because can you imagine just having that loop?
Roseanne's as well.
Yeah, my bad. I was thinking of Roseanne, not Silene. Can you imagine looping that the whole game? That's really cool. I kind of want to play this now.
Let me know so I don't have to show
Legacy energy.
Yeah, this actually looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
massive congratulations. Top 8 in the internationals, which is great. And lastly, guys, James Cox on Limitless has him under as an Australian, which he is still Australian. We're still counting him as one of ours. Amazing player, 100%. And he played Dragapult Dusknoir as well. With my understanding, a little different to Natalie's list, but the same as Brent Tonnisson's from the previous regionals.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing list. Well done. James did opt to go for the 2 Dusknoir over the 2 Dusclops this time. Still has what's called 2 Lance, 2 Iono.
This is looking more like the Mirror list that Brent played.
Yeah, the exact same one,
Yeah.
So, which we all know that list does work, and clearly worked for James as well. So, just want to say to James, massive congratulations as well. Did an amazing job. Fantastic. Also, just want to put this out there that Kingsley got 3rd place in seniors in EUIC using this exact list as well. Which is an amazing effort. Which he was the highest placed senior in EUIC for us. Amazing work.
Nice, good on him. See, even our seniors are doing well. bring back that IC.
I am really looking forward to seeing the level of play when the current seniors we have now move into masters, because we have some really, really talented seniors right now. And from what I've seen and from seniors that I know, the format is a lot harder with the caliber of players in their division now. So wait a few years and they're going to be in our division, guys.
Yeah.
So you got a few more years to train up.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I love Steel Sharpens Steel is the saying.
That's it.
Give me harder opponents.
Well, yeah, I definitely think we, as a group, well, as Australia in general, I think we did definitely a good job of saying, hey, we're still here. We may not have an IC, but we're still here. Don't forget about us. Yeah,
yes.
amazing effort.
Absolutely.
We're no joke.
That's exactly it. And I think a lot of people do tend to overlook majority of our region. Obviously, we have the Brent Tonnesons, we have the Natalie Millers, the Kywans. Like, we have those the players that you see on the stage on like fairly frequently when they're at a regional, international. But if you look through, we actually had quite a few Australians in, I think it was the top 300 or what it was. I forgot the number it was on Limitless, but had quite a few in there. Yeah. So definitely making the top 20 number for the world's invites a little bit more difficult. Definitely putting the pressure on, which is definitely what the community needs, and makes for interesting competition, in my opinion. Good rivalry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Do you guys have any Pokemon events coming up in the next few weeks?
I think we have a few cups before Brisbane. Brisbane, obviously, in 4 weeks, I think now. There may be a few cups just before and get some practice in. I'm still struggling to lock in a deck for Brisbane. I can't do what I did last time and lock in a deck literally maybe 6 hours before the event started. So
I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Yeah, I have some theories of what's going to be really good in that event. But yeah, you'll see me there. Anybody that is at the event, I'll be judging, so please definitely stop over and say hello. Happy to chat. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good time. Do we have any regionals coming up? I'm sure we do.
We have 2. They're both on the same day. We've got Vancouver and a place I've never heard before. Excuse me for this one. Fortaleza?
Yeah.
Over in Brazil.
Noticing Brazil is getting more events now too. Just globally, there is so many more Pokemon events, which I'm thinking is just such a positive thing for the community. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like continuous growth, especially over the last few years. But these 2 events are on the 8th of March, which I believe is 2 weeks away.
Yep. Pretty close to it as well.
Yeah. Do we think we're going to see some more cloth, or?
I have a feeling there's going to be definitely more Dragapult there. That's for sure. The cloth will definitely be there, especially with just winning in internationals. But now people, I have a feeling, are going to be thinking, how can I beat cloth? Because everybody's going to have the mindset, okay, cloth just won in internationals. If cloth can win in internationals, I can win in internationals.
Yeah. Also, load your decks up with those ball search cards to load your bench up before they get a chance.
But then the issue is with that, Dragapult with Bidoo comes in and says, hello, you can't use any items in your hand now, mate.
Yeah.
So,
fine balance.
It's now that time where it's like, okay, do I counter what I think is going to be there, or do I counter the counter, or do I counter the counter the counter?
Yeah.
My opinion is definitely just play what you're confident with. Make sure you're practicing as much as you can, even if that's on TCG Live, if that's with friends, definitely as much as you can possible. Have as many games before a regionals. No, like the worst amount of practice you can have is none. So even if it's just one game, it's better than no games.
You can fit one game in like 6 hours before the event, right?
Well, if you're catching a plane, sit next to a friend, ask somebody to switch your seat. Hey, I want to play some Pokemon with the guy next to you. Do you reckon we could switch seats?
Switch. Yeah.
Or just go sit on the floor in the hallway.
Can we just borrow that drinks trolley for a second? Too good.
Actually, on that note, we almost did a winner box towards when we're going to Hawaii for the Worlds. The previous one, we had a bunch of players on the same flight, and we were trying to arrange a winner box mid-flight.
Jeez.
Mid-flight.
Oh my!
It got too hard because we were doing a night flight, so it was getting late. People were starting to doze off, and we couldn't really be like, "Oh well, I'm going to primal turbo."
Yeah, talk out loud.
Yeah. And as everybody knows, us Pokemon bunches, we're not the quietest people in the world. So
I will yell to mind.
I'll yell at the top of my lungs if I see the double Archeops Ultra Ball play. I'll throw them on down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The classic yell boss for game. You cross like the cockpit, they can hear it.
Plane starts tilting a little bit because of the pilot's jumping.
Too good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we just pretty much covered the big talking points of the event. Yeah. Guess it's all to look forward to is the next few majors and next few events that we go to. Yes.
How about we do? Actually, we've got a couple of weeks until the next regionals. What are your guys' bets? Like, just pick a deck in the current format. What do you think is going to win it? I'm going to put it out there. I think Miraidon's going to win it.
You reckon Miraidon's coming back?
I reckon it's going to win one of the two events. If it's going to be Vancouver or it's going to be the Brazil event that you mentioned. I forgot the name. Don't hold it against me, please.
It is. Let me just butcher this one more time. Fortaleza.
Yeah. Ask me 2 minutes time. I won't remember it. But I reckon Miraidon is going to win one of them.
Yeah. Well, he's hoping that some Australian players show up, so I'm going to double down on the Dragapult because they seem to be enjoying that. So I
think that's a very safe bet.
Get some more dubs for the Aussies.
I'd be happy for the cheese string to bring it back.
I thought you were going to say Chen Pao, but
Grey Chen Pao.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
the silver Chen Pao.
Yeah, that's it.
The more people that hop onto it and actually familiarize themselves, we got a chance.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys, I got one last thing for you guys. It's the quiz question. So, what is the number one Pokemon in the Pokedex in Gen 5? You get one guess each.
The number one.
Bikini.
You got it. Yep.
Sorry, I forgot you came late to the game. I was ready to throw Bulbasaur on the table straight away when you said number one.
No, I was looking at the Pokedex the other day and I seen Victini there. I was like, it's the one time they've changed the order of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, is Victini a mythical? No, it's just legendary.
I think it might be a mythical. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Actually, wait. No, it is a mythical because Generations came out with a Victini box and they did it all with mythicals.
There you go.
Showing my age there. Anyway.
All right. Have we covered everything today? Do you think? Is there anything else we need to sort of talk about here?
No. On my part, I think I've checked. I think we've checked it all off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Spoken about good cards. Spoken about Crispin. All right, let's wrap it up.
59 good cards. 59 good cards. Say that on a t-shirt.
All right. Yeah, send us off, Aiden.
Yep. It's lovely been spending time with you boys, and to everyone listening onto the podcast. I hope you got something out of it and have enjoyed listening to us ramble on about how Crispin is a bad card.
Yes, we squawk on about it.
Yeah. Yeah, as always, you can find us on our YouTube and Spotify under Squawk and Talk podcast. Yep, let's chat about Aussie things. And my name is Hayden, and along with my lovely co-hosts Jevons and Aaron. Hope you have a good morning, good evening, or good night.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye.
Catch you later.